Okay. You,
133. Relative to the helicopter. Okay, so tingnan natin yung problem, no?
mm,
So, tingnan mo yung wording dun sa ano. A package is ejected horizontally from the helicopter with an initial velocity relative to the helicopter and in a direction opposite the helicopter's motion.
so yung parang supply helicopter pa yung ganito. Nakaganog ba pa?
O- So ang nangyayari niyan, reference frames problem siya. So meron ka dapat may lalabas siya na velocity of relative to the helicopter at velocity relative to the ground. So I think useful na gumawa ka ng or maglagay ka ng ano ng alam mo kasi di ba ano yan eh two coordinate systems yan, which means kung naalala mo yung sa ano yung sa hyperbole na meron tayong prime at saka unprimed axis,
Ah, so,
similar siya.
ah,
So kung
so,
merong position with respect to the old coordinate system, dito may ganun din. So pwedeng gamitin mo na let prime yung mga prime yung velocity relative to the helicopter. Hindi, ito. Lagyan mo ng ano, V sub P, V sub H. Yan yung velocity of the helicopter with respect to the ground. So, meter per second. Sabi dito, okay, velocity of package with respect to ground din yan.
mm,
Okay, so it's not given. V prime P, velocity of package with respect to helicopter naman. Okay, ang sabi dito, ejected horizontally with an in a direction opposite the helicopter's motion. So paano 'yun? Ano yung orientation anong direction 'yan? Or ano signs dapat diyan?
mm, okay, so baka kailangan ko ng video.
Teka, anong sinabi? So, ganito. Kung nasa loob ka ng helicopter, tinapon yung package in what direction?
Horizontally forward.
So if the helicopter is moving forward, anong direction tinapon yung object? Tapos yung object hindi siya nakasabit diyan, no? Isipin mo na nasa
Dahil saan mo siya nakasabit?
or for example, isipin mo na what if may passenger sa loob, may hawak-hawak na tapos tinapon niya. So anong direction niya tinapon? So thrown horizontally, which means V prime B equals, so directions. Yung forward, yung positive direction, di ba? Okay, so dapat V prime P is negative 12. Okay, ngayon, okay, so may initial velocity na yan with respect to the ground, di ba? Okay, pwedeng i-set up mo yung equation without plugging in values first. So yung transformation of velocities is, and then remember, you have a big piece of paper. Ano yun A4 size yan eh. So
Makalagay ko po
explain
itong
mo yung
plastic.
So
Select.
yan. So meron kang so ngayon, yung V sub, paano related yung V sub B, V sub B prime, at saka VH?
Doon mong dadagdag. Wala.
Teka, sulat ko rin yung workout ko rin yung, so R
Pabawas po siya.
H R package R prime P. So VP equals V prime P plus VH. Kaya, okay, so, wait. Ano yung sign? Negative 12 plus 6.2 is so so according to a ground-based observer, anong direction papunta yung yung object?
Nag-blow lang po ako ng ilong.
So negative, so it's going to so kung the helicopter is moving forward, the package is still moving backwards. Okay, just to see if it makes sense. What if binitawan lang ng person yung package? Ano yung V prime P? So so according to the person in the helicopter, the object is dropped.
Tabo. Drop
So
lang
ano
po
yung
or release horizontally po?
released lang. So hawak-hawak niya so stationary siya, hawak-hawak yung object, tapos binitawan niya. So ano
So
yung
hindi na po tinapon pabalik?
Hindi. Binitawan niya lang.
Okay, so
So ano yung velocity with respect to the helicopter, yung package?
negative VH po.
Kaya, remember, yung V prime P, yan yung velocity measured by the person or by the reference frame moving with the helicopter. So kung sa measurements ng person inside the helicopter, binitawan niya, initial velocity is
0 po.
0 as measured by the person in the helicopter. Pero as measured by the person on the ground.
So, kung sa nasa ground po, 6.20. I think
Okay,
kind of
so
makes sense.
6.20.
Hindi ba parang ipa-follow na yung helicopter?
Oo. Actually, ano yan eh. Di ba kapag if you're inside a steadily moving vehicle, makikita mo na if you drop an object, downward lang yung nagiging motion.
Sa jeep po. Sa jeep.
Diba?
Po ng coin, nahulog lang po siya sa floor.
Oo. Pero according to someone on the ground, it's moving forward. So the velocity addition law makes sense here.
Opo.
Okay, so ngayon, pansin natin, ano pa yung magiging niyan? Yung velocities na yan ay in what directions? Di ba may horizontal? Ano pa yung mga kasi tingin mo, hinihintay na yung mangyayari sa ground.
Meron pong bababa yung back.
This is actually a two-dimensional problem. So, nasaan yung ibang components? So, dapat vectors yan, hindi lang isang So, VPX, VPY, tapos V prime, yan.
VPX pala to. So, 0, okay.
Kaya, ano yung initial, so ngayon, ano yung initial velocity ng packet? So before you move on there, remember, this is a 2D problem.
Abo.
So ano yung vector ano yung velocity vector ng initial
Ah,
velocity? So, hindi. Next line. Huwag kang magtipid sa space. Next line.
yung bago ng sistema, kaya malaki yung isip mo. Kung yung isip mo,
Okay. Pakilagyan ng vector sign yan. Kasi we have to talk about components. So, ano yung I component? Ano yung J component? Tapos, lagyan mo subscript 0. Kasi at equals 0 yan eh. V0. VP, tapos V0X, V0Y. Okay. So, ngayon, anong initial velocity ng particle with respect to y?
ah, 0. Kasi wala naman pong,
Zero.
0, yes, tama. Kasi hindi naman
Kasi
bumababa.
yeah, kasi thrown backwards yan eh.
Nabo.
Okay? So ngayon, so alam natin yung initial velocities, ano yung x versus, tapos assume natin na ano yung choice of origin mo?
Yung point na bitaw po.
Okay. So choose the origin of the coordinate system
Mm.
at the point where object was released, or where the package was released. Or thrown backwards. Okay, so ngayon, so may diagram yan na anong ini-expect natin na magiging path ng object. So mag-drawing ka ng XY plane, tapos para meron tayong idea ano yung expected na path.
Ano ba yung line mo?
So object was released. Teka, masyadong cluttered pag naglagay ka ng ganyan.
Point na lang po.
Tanggalin ko kasi point lang
Point.
representation natin for the initial position.
Okay.
Okay, so ngayon, anong initial position? Kasi sabi mo, coordinate 0, 0 yung place where the package was released.
Okay. So, line siya. Paano mo ulis dito? Click ulit, ayun.
Hindi, anong gusto mong gawin?
Umalis po doon sa draw line.
Teka, di ba pag nag-drawing ka ng XY plane, yung origin dapat kung saan nag-intersect yung X at saka Y axis?
Okay.
So, yan yung origin. Tapos, yung ground level, okay, so anong value ng Y niyan? Okay, so negative 9.50 meters. Tapos, ano yung ini-expect natin na trajectory? So, sketch out mo na yung expected shape nung so, ganyan, no? Actually, pwedeng gawin mo na, i-drawing mo na, di ba sa pen tool, meron kang dashed or dotted?
Right.
Yan. Okay na yan. Tapos, okay, so, tapos on your diagram, dun sa origin, i-mark out mo yung initial velocity. So, may pakita akong symbols na useful. Kaya, so let me share my screen first. Tapos, okay, keep. Eto, so yung symbols na useful, kasi magsisimula tayo ng forces eh. So it's useful to have different arrows for velocity, acceleration, and force. So, yung magiging convention natin ay pag isang arrowhead lang, this is velocity. Pag dalawang arrowhead, this is acceleration or dalawang half arrowhead. Tapos, kapag force, isang full arrow. Clear?
Obo.
Sige. So, use that. So, stop sharing ng uli ako. Tapos, use that convention.
Select. Spans.
Okay. So, pwede pa share uli ng screen mo?
Obo. Yeah. Okay. So,
So,
yung line.
wait. Di ba initial velocity is horizontal? So, bakit may tangent dyan? Or use a different color kung para sa velocity, like red. Yeah. So, V sub 0 P tapos vector sign para clear na ano na we have a vector. Okay. So, we now know yung initial velocity along x and along y. We know the initial position, 0, 0. Using those two things, ano ngayon yung x versus t at saka y versus t? So, x equals Hindi na siya delta x kasi x. So v0x, or in terms of our symbols, that should be v0px.
Paano?
So v0px kasi yan yung initial velocity na ginamit mong symbol eh. So v0p x. Yung buong subscript to, tingnan mo yung v0px. Okay. Tapos yung y, gt square. Okay. So wala nang ibang. Tapos 0 naman yung ano. Ngayon gusto nating malaman Teka. Huwag ka muna tumalan dyan kasi yung t na ginagamit natin, yan yung parameter. Na it tells us if we are given t, this is what x will be. Ngayon, when let t sub f, so introduce a different symbol. Yan, that's the functional relation for position versus time. Tapos on next line, let t sub f be the time it takes, or the time when the package reaches the ground. Okay, pwedeng iurong mo yung sentence na yan pababa. Kasi every line yung ginagawa natin eh. That's already a different line. Yan. Okay, so next line. So, pag ganyan ngayon, so ano yung value ng x kapag so x is xf is equal to, okay, ano yung mga numbers na meron tayo? So negative 5.8 meter, okay, times t sub f. T sub f. Tapos yung y sub f, which is equal to negative 9.5 meters, is equal to t sub f square. Okay, therefore, okay, wait, next line. Okay lang na maraming white space.
Baka nahihina yung focus sa white space kaya na
Hindi, huwag kang manghinayin sa white space. Kasi it's for readability. So, tapos, okay, so t sub f, so therefore t sub f is teka po akong calcu ko. So 2 times 9.5 divided by 9.8, and then square root. Kaya 1.39, no? So pwedeng paki-mark para klaro yung decimal place.
Yun na po.
Okay. So xf is equal to, okay. Tapos ano pa yung hinahanap? Let's read the problem statement.
Helicopter po para malaman po yung distance.
Okay, what is the horizontal distance between the helicopter and the package at the instant the package reaches the ground? Teka, during the time T sub F, ang X sub F, yan yung position with respect to the ground of the package. Nasaan yung helicopter by that time? Okay, so therefore, teka, ano yung tanong? Horizontal distance. Kailangan horizontal distance kasi pag distance, kailangan mag-Pythagorean theorem, di ba?
Meron na parang move dito.
Okay. Actually, pwede mo rin yung alternative solution dyan ay according to the helicopter, anong initial velocity ng object?
With reference frame purely of the helicopter mo, tapos sa reference frame, yung ano niya, position na. Okay.
Pwede rin yun. So let's compute that for comparison. So according to the helicopter, the object is moving to the left. Or backwards at speed. So per second. Ngayon, alam natin yung time of fall, di ba? So it's still 1 point, ano yun? So pag ganyan, yung time is still T sub F. So 12 times T sub F. Okay, tapos lagyan mong prime. Kasi yung measurement na yun ginagawa in the reference frame of the helicopter. And then may negative sign kasi ang velocity ng particle ay backwards, di ba?
No way. Yo ho ho. All of this effort. Okay, that's so cute.
Okay, so yung letter C naman, what angle does the velocity vector of the package make with the ground at the instant before impact? Okay, sinong nagme-measure? Anong reference frame mini-measure to?
Seen from the ground. So ground.
So sa yung velocity vector, di ba? Of the package. So anong reference frame yan? So VPF. So sige, so patingin nung ano, yung so kailangan natin yung velocity at the end, di ba? So how do you compute yung velocity at the end? And at anong reference frame yan? Wait. Okay, so moving forward. Bakit ano yan? The velocities move is yung x velocity, yung x component. Okay. So negative. Okay, paano mo kino-compute yung VPFY?
Ayun. So
Mhm.
yun po.
Okay. So 67 degrees na.
No.
Sige. So yung next, pwedeng i-drawing mo lang yung vector, yung direction, yung vector, yung final velocity vector. Sketch mo lang para lang makita yung ano yung angle niyan. Kaya hindi pwede, mukhang ano siya eh, mukhang directly downward yan eh. Drawing mo muna yung vector. So ano yung x at saka y niya? Tingnan mo. Mas mahaba yung x kes yung ano no? Yung VPF is mas mahaba yung sa y. Wag mo na i-drawing yung path. Kailangan ko lang yung vector. So sketch the vector. At saka hindi rin natin kailangan yung ano, hindi natin kailangan yung drawing of the ground. What we just look for is ano yung vector, tapos ano yung ano niya. Para makita natin pati yung directions. So tingnan mo yung signs, negative. Yung pareho yung components. And then, okay, vector sum. And then, nasaan yung theta? Huwag mo na include yung ground. Kasi yung particle, ina-assume natin nandun sa ano eh. Nandun sa vertex. Isipin mo yung velocity nakakabit dun sa particle. Yung tail on the particle itself. So, yung particle is actually nandun sa ano sa tail ng velocity vector mo.
Angle, vector.
Parang ano eh, pag nag-free body diagrams tayo, ganun mangyayari eh. The velocity and the vector, the velocity vector and acceleration, the tails are on the particle.
Tails are on the particle. So dapat.
Teka, paano, di ba opposite over adjacent yung ano? Yung, ano yung opposite dyan? VPFY. So draw the triangle. So, di ba pag vector sum VPFX plus VPFY is equal to VPF. Drawing mo kaya yon?
Paano po?
Paano ba yung tail-to-tail method ng pagkuha ng vector sum? So, burahin mo yung VPFY. Okay, so yung VPFX, tapos add mo yung vector na VPFY, so pababa. Tapos connect mo yung tail to the head. Yan yung VPF. Ngayon, nasaan yung 67 degrees dyan? Ayan. Okay, so okay na? Make with the ground, a scene from the ground. Okay. So, yung next problem, yung 135. So 135. Okay. So, dyan mo lang lagay. And then, huwag mo na i-scale. Okay na yan. So, start from below. So, ano yung given? And then, ano yung diagram? Gawa ka ng diagram or sketch for the given para makita natin ano yung mga nasaan yung mga quantities niyan. Tapos, ano yung choice of origin mo? Teka, hindi mo kailangan mag-drawing nung kung ano yung actual na situation diyan. Yung kailangan natin ay coordinate system, tapos yung velocity vector, tapos at saka naka-label lang. Ano yung nasaan yung origin? Kasi ano yun eh, yung physical situation we are going to convert into information on the XY plane. Drawing mo yung axis muna. So, burahin mo muna lahat yan. Okay, so ngayon, ano yung initial, drawing on that point yung initial velocity. Or sketch the velocity vector. The initial velocity vector on your diagram. So at an angle 20 degrees below the horizontal, di ba? Ano mo na siya, standard. Tapos yung tail nung velocity vector, half arrowhead lang siya. Okay. So yan yung initial velocity. Tapos okay, so ngayon V0, lagyan mo ng subscript V0. Okay, ngayon, ano yung V0 in component form?
Ah,
Okay, now how do you use the information to calculate to give
the number.
numbers there?
Okay.
So dapat yung velocities may signs, di ba?
So negative.
So next line, V0 is equal to, okay, ngayon, huwag ka muna mag-compute. Isuot mo muna ano yung calculate mo. So, magkakaroon ka ng 15 times sine or cosine.
Kunti ka na mo.
So 15 cosine 20, that's 14.1. Teka, yung gamitin mo 14.10 kasi yung gagamitin natin yan later eh. So 5.13. So yung isa 15 sine of 20. Kailangan natin ng extra digit eh. 5.130. Okay. So ngayon, alam natin yung initial velocity. Ano yung initial position natin? So, lagyan mo ng vector sa yung R0 or yung arrowhead. Yan. Okay, so ngayon, ano yung X versus T? Ano yung Y versus T? So using that, so X is equal to, and then Y is, okay, and then what are we looking for? Horizontal displacement, and it's so at t equals t sub f equal to 3.0. Tama? 2.30 pala. 2.3. Sabi dito, no? 2.30 seconds. So 2.30. Ano yung X? Ano yung Y? Okay, tapos yung sa Y naman, minus 0.5 minus 9.8 times 2.3 square. Teka, di ba anong nangyari sa acceleration due to gravity? So, meron kang tingnan mo yung y versus t mo. Okay, ngayon, before we move on here, pwedeng iulong mo muna yung sagot mo sa B pababa para may space. And then write down your result as a sentence para sa letter A. Kasi ano yung hiningi? We're looking for the horizontal displacement 2.30 seconds later. So, the horizontal displacement 2.30 seconds later is 32.4. Okay, ngayon, sentence din para sa letter B. The vertical displacement okay, yung displacement may signs, di ba? To indicate ano yung direction. So, negative 37.7. Okay, so we're done with 135. Mag-new page ka na. Alam mo kung bakit? Pag pinrint mo siya na problem by problem, for example, what if homework siya, tapos ipiprint mo for submission? So, new page na. So, okay. So, copy lang ng question. So, So 137.
La. Yun. Ayaw pa kopya. Right.
Naalala mo yung mga problems involving rowing on water?
Obo.
Similar. Actually, reference frames din yan eh. Yung speed ng airplane, yung airspeed of the airplane, measured yan with respect to the air. Kung may wind, so hindi siya ground with respect to the ground. That's measured with respect to the air. So if the air is moving to the right with some speed v, anong magiging effect? Ano yung magiging measured speed with respect to the ground? Sabi dito, no? Is scheduled to take 50 minutes longer westward than eastward. So mas mabilis kapag with the water or with the air versus kapag going opposite the direction of the wind. So meron kang V eastward, may V westward.
Me winds. Paano kaya?
So, paano related yung mga yan? So, V eastward, V westward, 966, at saka yung speed ng wind. So, how do you set up those equations? So let's define those quantities. Let V eastward be the speed of the plane. So eastward or V sub E, pwedeng ganon. Or the velocity, pwedeng kung gagamitin mo velocity, sige. Teka, kung may arrowhead, velocity, diba? Velocity of the plane westward. Okay, so paano i-calculate ngayon yung V west, V east from 966 kilometers per hour and the speed of the wind? Teka, ganito, mag-components ka kaya times I hat times I hat para speed na lang yung sa wind. Okay. Ayan. Ngayon, what do we know? So how can we use those symbols to solve the problem? Teka. Bakit, paano ka nakakapag-divide ng vector? ano yun?
Moto
Sinabi.
here.
50 minutes longer yung westward, no? So, TE plus...
So, 50 over 60. Hours.
So, 5/6. Okay. Okay.
Oh no, algebra.
Ano to? 4,350 divided by 966 minus x plus 4,350 over 966 plus x minus 966 plus x equals, saan yun? Equals 5/6. Okay, and then shift solve. Yeah. Quadratic formula siya. Or,
I think there's no
sineset up mo using, di ba, quadratic equation yan?
Yeah, nga boss. So, inisip ko baka kaya wala ng conjugate.
So, multiply both sides by 966 minus V wind times 966 plus V wind. Yung difference of two squares na yon. Actually, kaya ako sinuggest yung 966 minus V wind times the quantity 966 minus V wind times 966 plus V wind. Kasi may cancellations na mangyayari, di ba? So, everything multiplied by 966. Ayan. 4350 times 966 minus V wind plus 56. Tapos yung 966 square times the quantity 966 square minus V wind square. And then group together para maggamit mo yung quadratic formula. Actually, may mga magka-cancel out eh. Yung 4350 times 966. Mamamatay, di ba?
Grabe po itong algebra. Ang mga values. Ayan, minus 6.
V wind, okay. Tapos minus Teka, tama ba yung signs? Di ba tinranspose mo lahat nung nasa right to the left, di ba?
Double.
So dapat yung signs, yung V56V wind square, dapat positive na yan. Tapos, check lang natin yung yung 56 times 966 square. Divided by 6. So 77, parang masyadong maliit yung 7680. Saan nang galing yun? So dapat 777,630 yung 5 times 966 square. Okay, ngayon gamitin natin calcu, polynomial 2, and let me just check. 5 divided by 6, 8700, 8700, and then minus 777 630. Yeah. Okay, so 88.6 kilometers per hour. Okay, so ayan, yan yung speed ng wind. Okay, so yan yung last na even na odd problem dun sa chapter na to. So we'll begin yung forces naman. Okay, so tingnan natin yung tingnan muna natin yung book. Kung ano yung laman. Okay. So, share ko ngayon yung yung notepad ko. Kasi I'm just going to talk about yung Newton's laws. So, gusto kong basahin mo basahin mo yung book itself. Pero may mga may gusto lang akong i-highlight na topics or ideas dito. So, and then gusto ko nang plug in journal paper format and then landscape. Ayan. Okay, so we're going to talk about forces. So let's just let me just point out yung mga ideas na dapat bantayan dito. Yung Newton's first law, so forces, they're vectors, and we can see what happens so one way we can tell if forces are acting on an object is by using Newton's first law. Okay, so Newton's first law says if no force acts on a body, the velocity must remain constant. Constant. Tapos yung second law, ito naman.
Yung mga yan po, axiom.
So yung second law, ito. So may sinasabing the net force divided by the mass of the object is equal to the acceleration of the object. Ayan. Ngayon, yung hindi sinasabi ng Newton's first law na actually ang mas magandang statement siguro para sa Newton's first law ay if the net force is equal to 0,
so it does not necessarily mean no force po. It just means F net is 0. So, parang hindi po siya gumagalaw. May force.
So, if net force is equal to 0, velocity remains constant. So, it's possible to have forces acting on an object, pero dahil yung net force, yung total ng forces ay 0, so total ng forces ng push and pull, 0, then pwedeng mangyari na the velocity must remain constant. Okay, so we have these two. Ngayon, so first question. Di ba napag-usapan na natin uniform circular motion? Okay, so question ngayon. So, question. An object is moving counterclockwise on a circle of radius 10 meters with speed 2 meters per second. Okay. So, ang tanong dito, is the net force 0 for this situation?
Hindi po.
Okay, bakit?
It's a movie.
Ano yan?
Gumagalaw po siyang net force 0. Counterclockwise in a circle of radius. Bakit ka po?
So, ibig sabihin, umiikot siya, constant speed. Counterclockwise.
Oh. Well, force. Huh? Okay.
So, is the net force 0?
Net force 0 po? Opo, siguro. First law.
In this in this situation. Teka, kinalculate na natin, di ba pag uniform circular motion, anong direction ng acceleration dito?
Tangential po. Or na ba? Centripetal. Ano kasi?
Di ba? So, pag uniform circular motion, ano yung direction ng acceleration?
Pa-inwards po?
Towards
Towards the center.
So acceleration is going to be like this. Pag nandito, yung acceleration is going to be to the center. Pag nandito, yung acceleration is also of the same magnitude, pointing to the center. Tapos, ano yung magnitude ng acceleration in this case?
Something positive po. Ano ba? Acceleration.
If you know the speed and if you know the radius.
V over
So,
2 pi r.
Kaya, acceleration So for uniform circular motion, ano yung acceleration in terms of speed and r? So it's going to be v squared over r.
V squared over r. Yes, naalala ko po.
Or kung ang speed ay 2 meters per second, we square this divided by 10. So ang acceleration in this situation is, copyhin ko lang itong buong to para mas malinis. And then let's make a new page. So, yung solution dito, okay, ito yung acceleration is towards the center. And the value is 4 over 10 or 0.4 meter per second square towards the center. Ngayon, so the object is accelerating, which means F net is not equal to 0. So Newton's first law will tell us na this is a case where there must be a net force acting on the object. It's not possible for this to happen without forces.
Perpetual motion po yan.
Actually may perpetual motion naman talaga. Pero, ang ano kasi dito ay yung perpetual motion machines, it's a different thing. Kasi you're getting useful work without forever. Dito, ang sabi, if there are no forces, an object will, if the total force is 0, an object will keep moving at constant velocity. For circular motion, this is not a constant velocity situation. So uniform circular motion is not a zero acceleration situation. F net must be non-zero, or it's a non-zero vector. Okay, ngayon ito yung tanong. Next question. So, dry ice. So merong may dry ice, may surface that's made of dry ice. So ginagamit to for demonstrations dry ice surface. So may cushion. So mangyayari, if you place an object on top of it, there's actually a small cushion of air just above. So between the object and on that surface. So, and it was observed. So it was observed experimentally that during the interval t equals 0 to t equals 3 seconds, that the object was moving to the right at constant speed, 0.5 meters per second. Or, mas mababa. Babaan pa natin. So, moving to the right, constant speed, 0.2 meters per second. Is F net equal to 0?
Ito nga po yung sinasabi po eh. Yung may kung frictionless mo po yung surface na yan.
Hindi, yan lang yung results ng observation. Hindi sinabi paano nangyari yan.
Constant speed. Okay. So, let's see. Dapat
To the right.
off.
So moving on a line.
Opo. So, dapat yun. Wala pong acceleration. So, dapat F net 0.
So F net is equal to 0. Okay. Ngayon, next question. So palitan natin yung situation. Dry ice, ang kayang gawin yan. Minsan na-observe yan eh. So ito yung next situation. So, okay, so definitely F net is equal to 0. Okay, so let's go to the next situation. So may floor. Tapos, there's a man walking on the floor pushing a box. Na on the floor. So the man is pushing the box in such a way na the box is moving at constant velocity. 1.01 meters per second to the right. So the person is pushing the box so that at every instant during the time na tinulak niya. So tinulak niya from one side of the room to the other. So during the time na tinutulak niya from the left to the right side of the room, the box maintains constant velocity. So the question is, what's F net? Is it equal to 0?
Dapat po.
Okay, so dapat. Pero the person is pushing the box.
Intuitively, but there's force. Kasi yung person's pushing it. Pero,
okay, so paano nangyari yun? The person is pushing the box. I mean, if you can actually do this, diba? Meron kang book sa isang table, tapos you can push the book so that it's moving at constant velocity forward. It can be done, diba? Pero how does that happen kung F net is equal to 0?
Baka nakalan niya pa yung friction mga ibang opposing forces.
Okay, so if you are pushing the box, so let's look at the box. So introduce ko na yung idea ng free body diagram. So a free body diagram is a vector representation of all the forces acting on an object.
At saka may tanong po ko, kung wind po siya, for example, pwede pong gamitin yung vector field?
Yun, no?
Vector field po for yung mga wind.
Ganito. For this, dito pumapasok yung first approximation. The first approximation that we're assuming here is all systems we're dealing with in this chapter and for the next few chapters can be represented by points. So point object yung approximation. So hindi natin iisipin yung pagiging finite yung size ng object.
Opo.
Babalikan natin yung finite size pagdating na sa equilibrium, sa statics and equilibrium at saka extended systems.
Opo.
All forces. So acting on the system. Okay, so dito sa sa situation na to, yung forces, yung ganito yung representation ng forces. So let's look at what's happening. So we know that the net force must be 0. Pero we know now we have to push, di ba?
Opo.
So let's draw the diagram. So ito yung box. So we know that one way, so let's look at the forces. So ito, F, person. So yung subscript, ibig sabihin, sino yung nag-act, what the force is acting on. So ganito yung symbols natin. Object, exerting force, acting on, object acted upon. So dito sa free body diagram natin, yung subscript person acting on a box kasi we're looking at the free body diagram for the box. Okay, so we have that. And aside from this, there's actually another force involved. The floor is actually pushing the object backwards. So, so in this situation, what's actually happening is, this is F, floor, acting on the box. Tapos, lalagay ko muna yung parallel to the floor. Kasi aside from this, yung floor can also exert an upward force on the box. May situations na downward force on the box. Pero kaya nalagay ko parallel to the floor. Tapos merong, so ito, from the floor, parallel to the floor. Kasi okay, so yan. Yan. Look at another situation. This time, ito yung meron tayong floor uli. And then, we also have, so we have the box again. Ayun. So wag muna yan. Ilaglag natin yung box. So free falling box. So assume no air resistance. Ano yung forces acting on the box? So in this case, if there's no air resistance, so vacuum chamber, halimbawa, tapos nilaglag mo yung box, and it's in free fall, G is equal to, so yung acceleration is negative 9.8. So lagay ko lang yung acceleration is equal to 9.8. So ano yung force acting? In this case, the force that's acting on this is the gravity, is the gravitational field due to the whole Earth. So F, Earth. So Earth yung source ng the whole Earth, yung source acting on the box. And then lagyan lang natin ng gravitational. So the whole Earth is pulling the box downwards. And its acceleration is 9.8 meters per second square. So yan yung correct na free body diagram for this situation. Clear ba bakit yan yon? So the whole Earth is pulling the box downward so that it will accelerate at 9.8 meters per second square. So, okay, ngayon, so we know na every object is being pulled towards the center of the Earth with the gravitational force due to the Earth. Okay, ngayon, gusto ko ngayon na pag-isipan mo to. So, next situation. So, free body diagrams na yung gagawin natin. Kasi, pag tama yung free body diagram, dire-diretso na siya eh. Pag mali yung free body diagram, ganun din. Nagkakascade na yung errors. So, let's consider a box at rest on the surface of a table. So, box at rest. Tapos, hindi tilted yung table. Kasi pag tilted, di ba, pwedeng mag-slide to the left or to the right. So, table is perfectly horizontal. Ano yung forces acting on the box? Pwedeng mag-drawing ka ng isang free body diagram and then make sure na lahat ng forces, saan nanggagaling yung force acting on the box. And then show me your free body diagram.
Wala mo. Bakit hindi
So, gravity acts. So, it's being pulled down by the whole Earth. So, it should be there. What else?
Okay, inano siya ng pababa. Okay. May pataas na force from the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Yung support force. Tapos
Teka, may contact ba yung ground sa object?
Obo.
Remember, nasa ibabaw ng table yung box.
So yung, actually, hindi pala yun yung support. Wait. Sort of. Yung table po is exerting on, yung ground is exerting on the table. And the table is exerting on the box.
Okay, so ano yung forces ngayon? Acting on the box lang ha, not on the table.
Yung force po ng ground. Transitive.
Remember, walang force, yung ground is not in direct contact with the object. So, walang force from the ground acting on the box. Ano ba yung katabi ng box?
Force po ng table over the box. On the
Okay,
box.
so the table is should be acting on the box. Anong direction?
Anong direction? Pataas po.
Pataas. Yung gravity naman, or the gravitational force from the whole Earth is going to be pulling downward. So, ngayon, alam natin na F, in this situation, what's F net?
F net yung box po lang, yung force ng table on the box. Meron pa ba?
Okay. F table on acting on the
box.
box. Tapos anong direction? So upward.
Upwards.
Tapos minus um, F gravitational
Opo,
acting on the
minus
box. So Earth's gravity acting on the box, J hat. There and wala na ibang forces, no?
Wala na pong iba.
Wala na. Pero box at rest. What can we say about F net? What else can we say about the net force?
Zero po. Dapat.
Okay.
Ano?
So, anong conclusion natin about F table on box? So minus F Earth's gravity on the box. This should be 0.
They're equal po.
Or they're going to be equal. So the table has to be pushing upwards with a force equal to the gravitational force of the box on the Earth. Okay, next situation. Ganito. So maglalagay tayo ng numero. So the box, we know that the box, let's say box is at rest ulit on the surface of a table. So, alam natin, tapos yung F grav on acting on the box is going to be, let's say it's 10 kilogram meter per second square or 100 na lang. Or this is 100 newtons. Ngayon, we also know that, so what if there's a person na pushing downwards? So F, person, pushing downwards on the box. Tapos, yung force na to, equal yan sa, nabula. So, yan ako lang dito para mas equals 100 newtons. F person pushing down on the box. So, isipin mo na, you're above the table and then you're pushing down on it. And the force that's applied is 10 newtons. What can we say about F box acting on F floor? Hindi floor. F tabletop. So table acting on the box. What should this be?
So yung yung support force, yung gravitational, negative nun. Tapos
Okay.
10 newtons. Okay, so exactly 100 newtons po yung gravitational.
Exactly 100 newtons yung gravitational force.
Yun.
So what can you say about the force of the table acting on the box?
So table acting on the box. So 100 newtons pataas and then 10 newtons down. So gumagalaw 110 newtons upwards.
Okay. So it should be 110 newtons upward. Kung walang so ito, if the person is pushing the box downwards. If there's no person, anong mangyayari sa table acting on force of the table acting on the box?
110 nga po. So kung
So ito, if a person is pushing downwards, what if no one is pushing it downwards?
100
Anong
newtons
mangyayari sa 100 newtons lang? So yung force of the table acting on the box is going to be dependent on all the other forces acting. Kasi nagre-respond yung table, at least up to a certain point. Pag masyadong malaki yung forces acting on the table, masisira yung table. So, sira at hindi na mangyayaring at rest yung object. Okay, so for the next meeting, so this would be on Thursday, so 4 p.m. Ang pag-uusapan natin, setting up free body diagrams. And then we'll talk about Newton's third law. Okay? So since it's almost 7:05, we'll stop here. And then we'll continue on Thursday at 4 p.m.
Opo.
Right? So, bye-bye.
Bye-bye po. Thank you po. Bye po.